our next witness, please.
Your Honor, at this time, the state calls Lindsay Smith.
Good morning. Please raise your right hand.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please be seated.
May I?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to ask if you could just keep the microphone nice and close to your mouth so that the jurors can hear you.
Okay.
Can you please state your name and spell it for the court reporter?
Lindsay Smith, Lindsay. Smith, Smith.
Where do you work?
I'm employed by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation.
And what is your role at the Georgia Bureau of Investigation?
I'm the special agent in charge assigned to the Statesboro field office.
What is a special agent in charge?
So my responsibilities are to supervise the personnel assigned to that office. We have 6 case agents, 2 crime scene specialists, and an assistant special agent in charge, an office manager, and an intel analyst assigned to the office.
And in that capacity, have you ever been a field agent yourself?
Yes, I have.
How long have you been with the GBI total?
19 and a half years.
And in your time with them in the 19 and a half years, is that the only role that you had, meaning special agent in charge, or what are your other prior titles?
So I began my career as a narcotics agent. I was promoted to special agent where I worked field work cases. Then I was promoted to assistant special agent in charge, and then now special agent in charge.
Would it be fair to say that each of those were promotions, essentially?
That's correct.
Okay. And prior to the GBI, were you in law enforcement, or is this your first law enforcement position?
I was in law enforcement previously.
Where were you?
I was assigned to the Altima Hall Drug Task Force as a narcotics agent.
How long were you with them?
Almost 3 years.
Okay, so in total, how long have you been in law enforcement?
22 years.
And in that time, would it be fair to say that you've also assisted in crime scenes and investigations of cases?
That's correct.
How many cases do you think you've managed over the course of your career? Estimated, not exact.
Hundreds.
Okay. And in that capacity, have you worked in partnership with other agencies?
Yes, I have.
In this case specifically, were you working in a partnership with any other agencies?
Yes, I was.
Can you tell the jury what agencies were involved in the investigation of this case?
Sure. We received our request from the Liberty County Sheriff's Office, but also during the investigation, we coordinated with other state law enforcement agencies, the Department of Natural Resources, Georgia State Patrol. We also coordinated with some federal agencies such as the FBI.
Okay. And you indicated that your title now is Special Agent in Charge. Was that your title in December of 2022?
No, it was not.
What were you at that time?
I was the Assistant Special Agent in Charge.
Congratulations on your promotion.
Thank you.
Can you explain to the jury what the difference is between the Assistant Special Agent in Charge and the Special Agent in Charge?
Sure, we have similar roles. As the Assistant Special Agent in Charge, my involvement was more operational, whereas now I'm more administrative.
Were you on duty December 2nd of 2022?
Yes, I was.
What was your role that day in connection with this case?
Well, it was actually after hours, but I was contacted by the case agent, Tracy Sands, to let me know that we had received a request for assistance from the Liberty County Sheriff's Office.
And how does that work, receiving a request?
The majority of the time, the call comes into our communications center. They have our on-call roster available. Once the call comes in, then they contact the on-call agent.
And the on-call agent that evening was?
Tracy Sands.
And as a result of Agent Sands being contacted, would that have been him who then gets assigned basically to that case?
Yes, that's correct.
Did that happen here?
Yes, it did.
Did you go anywhere to assist in the investigation at that point when you received the call from Agent Sands?
Not on that evening, I did not.
Okay. Is there a reason you didn't respond yourself?
I didn't feel that there was a need for me to be there at that time.
How long had Agent Sands been working with the GBI by the time you had gotten that call?
Probably 25 years.
Were you confident that he was able to handle that?
Yes, I was.
And when you got the call initially, you said it came in from Liberty County Sheriff's Office. Did you know what county that the remains, the initial piece of her remains, were recovered?
Yes, it would have been Liberty County.
Okay. Can you tell the jury what the relationships of the counties are kind of in that area where Jones Road and Barrington Ferry is? Is that all Liberty County or is that near other counties? How does that work?
No, it's Liberty County, McIntosh County, and Long County kind of converge together in that general area.
Okay. So her physical remains initially were in Liberty County. Do you know if any of the other remains were found in places other than Liberty County?
Yes, they were.
Where were they found?
In McIntosh County.
Okay, so Liberty and McIntosh?
Yes,
Okay. And when the initial call came in, though, her remains were in Liberty?
that's correct.
Did that impact who you partnered with in connection with this case?
Yes, it did.
How so?
So since we got the request from the Liberty County Sheriff's Office, we would be working with them.
Okay. And when you ultimately, well, let me back up. Did you get to the scene at some point?
Yes, I did.
What day did you go to the Portal Hunting Club down in Riceboro?
I went out that Monday, December 5th.
Okay. And when you got there on December 5th, why did you go there?
We were doing an extensive search that day, and I wanted to participate.
Okay. When you say extensive search, can you tell the jury what you mean by that? What was going on?
Sure, we coordinated with some canine handlers out of South Carolina, the Department of Natural Resources, obviously some more personnel from my office, and individuals from the Liberty County Sheriff's Office. And so our task was to go out there, saturate the area to look for additional remains that we were still missing and any other evidence.
Was it important to find the rest of her remains?
Yes, it was.
Can you tell the jury why?
At that point, we were missing her head, which is obviously a large piece of the puzzle that would help us identify who she was. We'd know what she looked like, what her eye color was, hair color.
And at that point, did you have any idea who she was?
We did not.
Had steps already been taken to try and identify her?
On the 5th?
As of even the first day?
Yes.
Okay. But had they yielded any results?
No, they had not.
Okay. So when you get out there on December 5th, can you tell us who was present at the scene?
Tracy Sands was out there, our crime scene specialist, Brett Dickerson. There was a representative from Department of Natural Resources, I believe 3 canine teams, and some members of the Liberty County Sheriff's Office. I don't recall specific names.
Okay. And you mentioned Special Agent Dickerson. Did you assist him at some point on that day in the course of this investigation?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell the jury what you did to assist Agent Dickerson?
Sure. He had collected a sample of maggots from the left leg that we had found. Those maggots needed to be boiled, essentially, so I was able to perform that task.
Okay. Was he able to do that out in the field?
No, he was not.
So did you physically take them somewhere to do that?
I did. I had contacts in the area that were able to provide me with an outdoor kitchen, so to speak, where I was able to heat water and then pour the boiling water on top of the maggots.
And that processing, did you receive any guidance, without telling us exactly what was said, did you receive any guidance on how to perform that task?
Yes, I did.
Who did you receive that guidance from?
It was through Agent Dickerson, but from Dr. Mondor.
Okay. And do you know what his role was in this case?
He's an entomologist that works for Georgia Southern University that we consult with sometimes.
Okay. And when you boiled the maggots, what did you do with them afterwards?
I went back to the crime scene and turned them over to Agent Dickerson.
Okay. Did they remain in your custody the entire time that you went to process them before you returned them to Agent Dickerson?
Yes, they did.
And so when you gave them to Agent Dickerson, he was the last person that had them after you?
That's correct.
Do you know if they were submitted at some point to Dr. Mondor for review?
Yes, they were.
And would the special agent in charge and the assistant special agent in charge have to manage somehow the funding for taking care of that?
Yes.
Okay. Does the Georgia Bureau of Investigation Crime Laboratory have the ability to do that kind of testing itself?
No, they don't.
So that would have required you to go somewhere else?
That's correct.
In your career, how many times have you had bugs processed?
That was the first.
Why did you do that?
To preserve them as they were, so that we could get a better timeline on how long the remains had been in the woods.
As of that date, December 5th, did you have any idea exactly how long they were in the woods?
No, we did not.
So what would Dr. Mondor be able to provide you in terms of that you were hoping to accomplish?
A date range of how long they had been out there, particularly when they were placed there.
Now, when you learned that the deceased in this case, Mindy, had been dismembered, did that cause you any concerns for the investigation?
Yes, it did.
Why?
At that particular time, we still did not have her head, which was going to be useful in identification.
Did you contact anybody once the head was recovered?
Yes, I did.
Who did you contact?
I contacted the GBI's forensic artist, Kelly Lawson, to request some assistance with the photograph at that time.
Okay. And can you tell the jury what would the forensic artist have to do with this case?
So initially, I received a photograph from the autopsy of the face of Miss Mindy. And my initial request to the forensic artist was to ask if she could make the picture look better so that it could be released to the media. That was not an option in this case, so what we did was have her basically draw an image to be used to release for the media.
So if you had had a, for lack of a better word, non-traumatized face, would you have released that photograph?
It's possible, depending on how it looked.
So it's the condition of the body?
That's correct.
Okay. So in this case, given the condition of the body, you were not able to do that?
That's right.
Okay. So did you provide anything to Kelly Lawson, the forensic artist, in conjunction with your request?
Yes, I sent her the photograph that we obtained from the autopsy.
And if you know, was that head modified in any way during the course of the autopsy in terms of the photograph you received?
It had been cleaned, but other than that, nothing else.
Okay. And did you give her any other details concerning the appearance of the deceased?
Yes, I did.
What did you provide to her?
We were able to provide height, possible weight, and the hair type, essentially.
Okay. Did you discuss with her eye color?
Yes.
What eye color did you tell her?
We told her brown at the time.
And you say at the time. Why did that change at some point?
It did.
Why?
I don't know the scientific reasoning behind it. During autopsy, the eyes appeared to be brown. I do believe they were naturally a different color.
Okay. Would Dr. Lehman be able to explain that as he did to you at some point?
Yes.
Okay. And I say Dr. Lehman, who was he?
He was our medical examiner who performed the autopsy.
Okay. So initially, you simply thought the eyes were brown.
That's correct.
Okay. And so when that information was provided, did that include that information to Ms. Lawson?
Yes, it did.
Ultimately, did you ever receive a drawing back from Ms. Lawson?
Yes, I did.
Can you explain to the jury what you did with that drawing?
Sure. We were able to create a flyer per se with the photograph on it and some additional identifying information, and then we've included our phone number and ways to contact the GBI should someone recognize the picture.
And do you know what day that was that you received and posted, so to speak, that flyer that you just referred to?
So I received the flyer on December 11th, which I believe was a Sunday, and it went out to the media that Monday, the 12th.
Okay. And that was in 2022?
Yes.
Okay. And as a result of receiving that and posting it, did you receive any leads or tips from people seeing that photograph?
We did receive some leads.
Okay. Tell us how you managed those tips coming into the GBI.
We have an intel analyst assigned to our office, and she was able to maintain a spreadsheet with information that we were getting as the calls came in. We received tips from over 17 states across the country.
Okay. Were you fielding those tips and investigating them?
I believe I may have taken a call or two, but mostly that was being handled by a case agent and the intel analyst.
Okay. When those tips started coming in, did you ultimately identify her through the tips?
No, we did not.
So subsequent to that first photograph, did there come a time when there was a second drawing?
Yes, there was.
When was the second drawing?
If I can refer to my notes, that was on January 3rd.
On January 3rd, did you receive a second drawing?
Yes, I did.
Who did you receive it from?
From Kelly Lawson.
Okay. And when Ms. Lawson sent you that drawing, tell the jury what you did with it.
We submitted another flyer with some additional information and put it out to our media.
Okay. Did that also get posted to the public media?
Yes, it did.
Did you receive additional tips?
Yes, we did.
Did you do any better with the second drawing than the first?
No, we did not.
No identification?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to show you what I'm going to mark as 1.16. I'm not going to show this because it's a manual photograph, so I'm going to ask the jury when ultimately I publish it, just to keep it so that it can't be seen. May I approach?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm showing you what's been marked as 1.16. Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
What do you recognize that to be?
That's the photo that was taken at the autopsy that was provided to Kelly Lawson.
What is it a photograph of?
It's a photograph of Mindy's face.
Okay. Is that her whole head?
That's her face. The neck is not in the photograph.
Okay. Is that a fair and accurate duplicate of exactly what you sent to Ms. Lawson?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, at this time I'd like to tender 1.16.
Any objection, Your Honor?
It's in
Your Honor, at this time I'd like to publish that to the jury.
the, ladies and gentlemen, if you would just hold it closely so that it's not exposed to anyone. Hand that to the witness, please.
That was the photograph you sent to Ms. Lawson, correct?
Yes, it is.
And you indicated that you had received some sketches back from her afterwards, is that right?
That's correct.
And ultimately, you said there were some flyers that were produced as a result using those sketches?
That's right.
I'm now going to ask, Your Honor, that these be marked as 1.17 and 1.18. I've provided counsel with a copy already. May I show these to the witness?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recognize what's in 1.17 and 1.18?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell us what's 1.17?
This the first rendering that Kelly Lawson gave us.
Okay, and that was back on December 11th of 22, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and with respect to 1.18, what is that?
It's another rendering. It's the second one that we received.
And when was that one received?
That would have been on January 5th.
I believe you tested.
3rd, I'm sorry, 3rd.
Okay, so it was January 3rd. What was January 5th? What happened on January 5th? Did that get posted or something?
I don't recall. I think I just misspoke, so it was the 3rd.
Okay, so when you received that from her, did you then process that into a second flyer?
Yes.
Okay. At this time, Your Honor, I would like to tender states 1.17 and 1.18.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, we're both admitted.
Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to publish those to the jury.
You may.
Thank you. Now publishing 1.17 for the jury. Was that the photograph that was made into the first flyer?
Yes, it is.
And I'm now publishing 1.18. Was that the second photograph that was made into a flyer?
Yes, it is.
At some point, were there side-by-side flyers as well?
Yes, I believe so.
And ultimately, you indicated that you would receive tips on both of those photographs,
That's correct.
but no results?
Not to identify as her officially, no.
Did you investigate other individuals other than Mindi Mebane Kassotis potentially being the deceased?
Yes, we did.
Were there one, more than one? Do you have any idea approximately how many?
I would say anywhere between 75 to 100.
So you ran down a lot of leads.
Or my office did.
Not you personally, my
Yes.
apologies.
Nope.
The GBI.
That's correct.
Okay. Now, when you wound up with no results from the forensic sketches and from all these leads, what did you do next?
So I reached out to another special agent in charge within the GBI who had had success in identifying an unidentified individual. He put me in contact with an FBI agent.
And why did you call the FBI?
They were in the process of doing some genetic genealogy testing, and I reached out to him to see if he could help us with this particular case.
Do they normally help you? Not disrespectfully, but I mean, do they normally work as your partner unless requested?
No, they don't.
Okay, so in this case, you reached out for assistance?
That's correct.
Okay. Did they explain anything to you about procedures for following through with that?
Yes, there were some steps that we had to take before they would take on the case, which included providing details about what we were dealing with, what the investigation had uncovered at that point. There were some other processes that had to be undertaken where some data would be entered into some databases.
Can you explain to the jury what VICAP is?
Sure, it's the FBI's Violent Criminal Apprehension Program. Essentially, it's a database that collects information from law enforcement and compares it to other cases to see if there are similarities or connections.
And what is NamUs?
That's the National Unidentified Missing Persons System.
Okay. And what does that database do?
It also collects information from loved ones and law enforcement about missing and unidentified individuals to see if they can also make connections that with other cases that are entered into the database to hopefully resolve those cases.
Did either VICAP, and just for the record, VICAP, or NamUs, NAMUS, did either of those ultimately yield a result that assisted you?
No, they did not.
And after going through that documentation process with the FBI, who did they put you in touch with?
Gene by Gene.
How do you spell that?
Genebygene.
So gene, like as in a gene in the DNA?
That's correct.
Okay. And what kind of a organization or company is Gene by Gene?
It's a private forensic laboratory.
Okay. What kind of testing do they do?
They do a genetic genealogy testing.
And how is that withdrawn? Is that something available from the GBI Coastal Crime Laboratory?
No, it is not.
Is that available by any GBI laboratory?
No, it is not.
So you had to go to a private laboratory to be able to try the genetic genealogy?
That's correct.
And as a result of that process, did you have to provide them with information about your case?
Yes, we did.
Specifically, what did you provide them in connection with this case?
I'm not sure we actually provided them with information about the case, but we did have to send them a sample of blood that was obtained from the autopsy.
Okay, and that would have been the blood from the deceased?
That's correct.
And at that time, did you know who she was?
No, we did not.
So when you sent it to Gene by Gene, what were you hoping to accomplish?
We were hoping to learn who our victim was.
Okay. As a result of that process, did you receive any information that assisted you in locating individuals that may have a connection to your deceased?
Yes, we did.
And who was that you went to speak with after that process?
Agent Sands went to speak with Betsy Mebane.
And that's Mebane?
That's correct.
Okay. Why did they go to speak with her?
So during the testing, they were able to basically build a family tree with connections to potential family members of the victim, and she was identified as a possible mother.
Okay. And only if you know, do you know if they ultimately were able to collect a DNA sample from Mrs. Betsy Mebane?
Yes, we were.
Did you assist in any other way in the investigation?
No, other than just general oversight, supervision.
Now the crime lab, I want to be sensitive here because I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Are there times when you submit items to the crime laboratory for analysis?
Yes.
Does your team submit items to the crime laboratory for analysis as well?
Yes.
Do you always have every item tested you request?
No, we do not.
Can you explain why?
Sure. The resources at our crime lab are limited. We are short-staffed with some scientists in certain areas, so it's impossible for them to be able to test every piece of evidence that's submitted.
Have you had your fair share of conversations hoping for potentially more items to be tested?
Yes, I have.
Did you do that in this case?
I believe so.
And can you explain what a briefing is with the crime lab? Who would do that?
So it would be a supervisor from the office and a supervisor from the crime lab get together and discuss potential additional steps that we would request be taken.
Okay, and did anyone do that in this case as supervisor?
Honestly, don't recall, but I believe so.
Do you know if you had any conversations with the crime laboratory?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did you make requests for evidence to be examined?
Yes.
And did you do that in assistance with any other agents from your team?
Yes.
Who was that?
Would have been Agent Dickerson and Agent Sands.
Okay. And ultimately, did you receive reports back from the crime laboratory on the items they did ultimately test?
Yes, we did.
Without them being able to do the forensic genetic genealogy, is that why you went to Gene by Gene?
That's correct.
Did that ultimately provide you with identity for the purposes of knowing who that torso and the rest of the remains belonged to?
Yes, it did.
And who was that?
Mindi Mebane Kassotis.
I have no further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Prosecutor, questions?
Thank you. Good morning, Special Agent Smith.
Good morning.
My name is Doug Weinstein. I'm representing Mr. Kassotis in this case. Just a few questions. You testified that you were hoping for more items to be tested. Is that correct?
That's correct.
What specific items were you hoping that the crime lab would test?
I would hope they would have tested everything that we submitted in a perfect world.
Which specific items did you hope they would test that they would not test?
I believe the Clorox wipes or whatever type of wipes those were. Specifically, that's what stands out in my mind.
So did you request those to be tested? You had discussions with the crime lab, and then they would not test them?
I don't believe specifically we had the discussion of that. We were presenting them with the list of everything that had been provided, and once something was tested and we didn't have any success or any leads, we would ask for something else to be tested in hopes that we would get some additional information.
You said the crime lab is short-staffed in certain areas. What areas to your knowledge, is the crime lab short-staffed in?
I believe most of the scientific fields are short-staffed across the state.
And just to help the jury understand, what are the scientific fields specifically that are short-staffed across the state?
So I believe toxicology, the chemist, biologist.
And because of that, items that special agents or assistant special agents want to be tested, or other agents want to be tested, may not be tested by the crime lab,
That's correct.
even though you believe they should be tested.
That's correct.
No further questions. Thank you.
Just one follow-up. If you had thought something was critical to the case to be able to prove or disprove the case, would you have taken that somewhere else than the GBI Coastal Lab?
Yes, we would have.
Did you do that in this case?
We did.
And did you get results from it?
We did.
Nothing further.
Anything else?
Real quick. Do you ask for items that aren't critical to be tested from the crime lab?
I believe all items that we collect are critical.
Thank you. No other questions.
All right. Any objection to the witness being excused?
No objection.
No objection.
Thank you. You are excused. You're free to go. You just leave that there.